Are you facing challenges in your health? Then Dr. Suleiman Clinic and Labs is here to provide you with the lasting solutions to your health problems. Dr. Suleiman Clinic and Labs is specialized and offers consulting in psychiatry, internal medicine, cardiology, urology, dermatology, gynecology, infectious diseases, and infertility. At Dr. Suleiman Clinic and Labs, we offer 3D/4D scan at just 5,000 francs, emergency ambulance, free ultrasound scan, and free medical consultations. Our staff is composed of well-trained doctors with good laboratory and best equipment. We are located in 2 cities, Boya at Mile 18 Bolifamba, and in Douala, we are located at Entre Pilot. You can reach us through the telephone number 694-940-172. Your health is at the right place with Dr. Suleiman.
Good evening. This is Dr. Solomon and another session of Your Health Today with Dr. Solomon. We will be discussing something new today, something that is very important, something that's on the rise, something that is affecting very much a lot of young people, and that will be hepatitis. We'll be talking today about hepatitis. Hepatitis, without surprise, is on the rise. Hepatitis is many kinds. The one that will be our focus today is hepatitis B. Why? Because it is very much on the rise among young Cameroonian girls and boys. We get a lot of cases on screening, random screening, that shows positive for hepatitis. You may not understand the magnitude, how bad is the disease, till you see the complication of the disease. And just for you to know, once the disease gets to a certain level, there is no treatment, only transplant. And we don't have transplant here. And even with transplant, the risk of rejection, of rejecting that transplant liver is high, and complication is much. We can easily avoid that by just getting it checked. In my clinic, I do hepatitis B, ultrasound check, biliary tree check, and the ELISA hepatitis B for small 5,000. Just to screen as many people as we possibly can. So if you have it, we are, have a chance to treat. Yes, it is treatable. I'm going to explain a lot about hepatitis and how you understand your lab results and what you look for today in this session, hopefully in the next 50 minutes or so. I don't know if it's possible that we start with that video. If it's possible, will be great. In this video, I will show you the complication of a patient that came in a couple of days ago with hepatitis. The patient is, about 71 years old, so he was old. It doesn't mean that the complication only happened at this age, 71 years old. I had 36 years old male that did not make it. And we will explain why. Because when we have HIV and hepatitis B, that's it. Especially if the HIV is not the patient not taking the treatment for. And obviously the hepatitis, he didn't even know that he had hepatitis. It was just sudden that he was faced by multi-organ failure. They usually die by hepatopulmonary failure. The liver fails and the lung fails. Nobody knows the connection. But anyhow, the multi-organ failure is how they go down. So we're talking about a very dangerous disease, a disease that have no symptoms till it's too late, a disease that you should be very much aware of. Because what? Because it is sexually transmitted. We will explain everything about this disease, what you need to know, what you look out for, how you take precaution, when you go do the lab, how to know what stage you at, and everything about this disease and its markers will be explained very well. So we will share the video with you showing the complication that this guy went through, and that's a real life scenario. And then we will learn, and then we'll talk about the disease. How can someone catch the disease? How can you prevent yourself from having the disease? How you screen yourself for the disease? Hepatitis B is very dangerous because untreated, it can lead to liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis meaning your liver becomes as hard as this table, and it becomes smaller inside and non-functioning. So what is that? You have to understand that the liver is one of the most important organs in your body. It's the major detox organ in your body. Any toxic thing you take, including medication, in food, in air, anything that is toxic that gets into your bloodstream, the major organ to detox this is the liver. Another very important function of the liver is to make proteins. One very important protein is called albumin. This albumin is made only in the liver. Then you will ask, what is the function of albumin? Why? What is so important about albumin? Albumin is the only protein that can make the blood stay in your veins and arteries by a force called osmotic force. We're not going to get into technical details, forget about it. What I need you to know is, in order for the blood to flow and stay in the arteries and veins and do not leave them to outside in the interstitium, like in the abdominal cavity, I need albumin to be there. And albumin is made only by the liver. If the liver is gone, albumin is no longer there or decreased, then we have nothing to hold this blood inside the vessels. So the plasma, which is the clear liquid from the blood, will leave where? To the nearby, wherever they are. We have a lot of vessels, a lot of arteries and veins inside the abdomen. I lose albumin because of a bad liver. All those fluids will come inside my abdomen. Now my abdomen is swelling. And once we have fluids inside the abdomen, this is not only just fluid in the abdomen and the swelling abdomen, no. You have complication that comes secondary to that, which is bacterial peritonitis, spontaneous bacterial peritonitis. So anytime I have a swollen abdomen, I have an invitation for a spontaneous bacterial peritonitis, which means I have infection of bacteria inside the abdominal cavity. Spontaneous means we don't know why. We just don't know why is the cause. I don't know if the video is available. We can check those complications, check this patient that is a live patient.
Tu parles un peu fort, pardon.
Parle un peu. Dis-lui de quoi tu souffres.
Dis-lui de quoi tu souffres.
What is the complaint? What is the complaint?
On demande de quoi tu souffres, papa.
Ça me fait vraiment mal.
Abdominal pain.
Oui, vous sentez souvent mal. Les douleurs abdominales, c'est ça?
Ouais.
À quel niveau exactement?
Là où il est en descendant.
All right, so this is abdominal pain. When we do the scan, we obviously have moderate to severe ascites, abdominal ascites. And it was very obvious that the liver size is very reduced. That's a cirrhotic liver here.
Yeah.
So this is an obvious case of hepatitis that has been ignored. So there is a chance of acute hepatitis. There is a chance to treat with medication, and more than 70% of the time, the patient is successfully treated. But now, this 71 years old, we have severe, moderate to severe abdominal ascites, fluids all over the abdomen, and the abdominal pain most likely is because of peritonitis, that's inflammation of the lining of the abdomen there. So, and also when we looked at the gallbladder, when we looked at the wall of the gallbladder, the wall is very thick, which indicative of cholecystitis. Let me show you the picture here. This is the gallbladder here.
Yeah.
This is the gallbladder, and when we measured it, it was like 5 point something. The gallbladder wall is quite thick and shining.
It was 5.6.
Yeah, 5.6. So the gallbladder, well, this is the gallbladder here. You know, so shining, that means inflamed, and thick, definitely inflamed. So that's cholecystitis, beside peritonitis, cirrhotic liver. And that's what I'm saying. Hepatitis has to be checked, treated, before it turns into cirrhotic liver.
Okay.
And that is also a chance for liver carcinoma. But we checked the liver, there is no masses in the liver. So it has not progressed to liver carcinoma yet.
Okay.
Hepatic cell carcinoma. Thank you.
Okay.
So that was an actual patient, actually 3-4 days ago in the clinic. Came on with, like you heard, with abdominal pain. And when we looked, you know, usually when I get a patient, I take the history, I listen to the patient, and I recommend every clinician to use ultrasound, because ultrasound will change everything for you. Once you look with the ultrasound inside the patient, you see things that, wow, I didn't think you would have such a thing, but A, is right here in your face. We have abdominal ascites, and we have very small liver that is cirrhotic. And we look at the gallbladder, we find this gallbladder wall is very thick. The patient has not eaten anything yet. He lost appetite, he cannot eat. But the good thing is we do not have masses. You know, hepatitis can lead chronic hepatitis untreated, leading to liver cirrhosis. The next step will be HCC, or hepatocellular carcinoma. In simple English, cancer. So we looked and we didn't find any masses in the liver. So the patient has not yet gone into hepatocellular carcinoma or cancer of the liver. Now, I don't want to scare you off with the danger of, you know, hepatitis, ignored hepatitis, or maybe, you know, you just never thought you should check for hepatitis. You should, if you are sexually active, you should check for hepatitis. Is on the rise. I have the other day, you know, a lady, I checked for hepatitis. She wanted to check for hepatitis because her husband works in Dubai, and I think it's a requirement before you go to Dubai to show hepatitis B test. So I did the hepatitis and it was positive. And the woman was in tears. What happened? I cannot go to my husband now because, you know, they require negative hepatitis B. So that was one of the cases. But the problem is not, you know, good thing we checked her and we know she has hepatitis because she has a very good chance to recover hepatitis, to be cured for hepatitis. It will take a small time, but she has a chance to recover hepatitis.